Hello guys, good to see you. We have a moderation panel here. Grace is here also, but I think I can start without the permission, I guess. So it's good to be here. I'm very glad to be here. This is Fatih. I'm co-founder of Meditopia. We are a mental coach, the most popular and most used mental coach of non-English speaking markets. And it's my pleasure to be here today. So I'm going to talk about 3 topics today with you, with all of you. So I'm going to cover my story and Meditopia's story and what's going on right now across the globe about mental health, our own emotions, psychology, what do we feel as billions across the globe, and COVID-19's impact on our feelings and psychology. And aftermath, because there is a new circumstances in front of us, what kind of new solutions world needs and what kind of new opportunities these needs creates. So that is why we called this session the opportunity ahead for mental health startups. I would be more than happy also to answer your questions right after my 15 minutes of presentation about mental health. If you need, if you have some questions, maybe about your future projects or current projects or overall about yourselves, I will be more than happy to answer. Also, last part of my going to give you my email basically because it would be more than happy for myself to receive any additional questions you have, any maybe new ideas you have on mental health. So let's start. Before Corona, guys, before COVID-19, we already had a grand problem across the globe, and this was called global mental health crisis. Billions of people across the globe, all of us, we basically faced and experienced many challenges in our daily lives. Stress, loneliness, anxiety, there's a long list, an unfortunate long list. And this has some reasons basically to occur. There's a huge rise in urbanization and connectivity, this huge information exposure. There's a huge increase in change, in expectation, in working environment, and so forth. And that is why billions of people across the globe basically suffered from many mental challenges. But at the same time, people can have better lives. People can have happier lives. People can basically live more positive and better lives. We really felt that. And that is why in the beginning of 2017, myself and my co-founders decided basically to intervene into this global mental health crisis by building a tech company which can also create a lifestyle brand so that it can become a genuine part of billions of people's daily lives, so that people also has a preventative role in people's lives, so that our community can live happier and healthier lives. So that, of course, had a lot of different angles. You can build a product, you can build a service, X, Y, Z. It's a multi-dimensional angle topic. But from our point of view, also because we deeply saw the impact of mindfulness in our daily lives, we decided to build a localized mindfulness. So localization was key in our journey, basically to intervene into global mental health crisis and to build a mental well-being solution, because we thought that mental health is not a one-size-fits-all topic. Our mental well-being, mental health, it is deeply rooted where we live and what culture which we are part of. Basically, that was our hypothesis back then in 2017. So myself, I born in Turkey, in Ankara, capital of Turkey, and my co-founders from my college, which is called Koç University. It's a college in Istanbul. We met there, and aftermath, we decided to build this localized mindfulness product so that we can penetrate into people's most personal areas, psychology and emotional areas. And by the aspect of localization, we can maybe increase the impact which we can create in people's daily lives. And that is why we built Meditopia as a localized mindfulness product, providing the solutions, the contents which created by local therapists to people across non-English speaking markets in many languages and in many geographies. So our journey began in 2017. It's been this month, actually, it's kind of on our anniversary. It's been 3 years. And now Meditopia reached to 10 languages and active in more than 75 countries and have more than 16 million members in our community. And our product, our company became now, as of today, the global leader, most used and most popular product in non-English speaking countries. So again, one of the key aspects of our solution was to be able to work with local providers, local therapists, so that we can make our community resonate with the solution we provide. So that is, in a nutshell, Meditopia's journey from 2017 till today. My journey a little bit. After college, I immediately built the company with my co-founders. By the way, I studied economics, love economics as a side note. And this is the state where we came with Meditopia. So by the way, I can see the questions, guys. Eric, thank you very much for your question. And Hannah, thank you for the question. Basically, I will finish the presentation in maximum 15 minutes, and then I will jump to the questions for the last 10 minutes. Hope that it's okay for everyone. So Corona and mental health. Right now, starting with end of February, beginning of March, world is experiencing our generation actually experiencing a very, very interesting time. Of course, it is not a new thing for humanity, but for our generation, it's a brand new thing. And it has a lot of impacts in our daily lives as human beings, billions of people across the globe. First of all, of course, grief. Some of us, we lost, unfortunately, our loved ones because of the COVID-19 virus. And that, of course, means grief. Grief felt and lived by many people. And then elevated rates in many tough feelings also, such as stress and anxiety. These are huge problems. And as an output of those mental experiences and challenges, increase in sleep problems is also a very, very specific thing, which many of us, billions, are suffering from. And of course, because we had basically lived in quarantine for a significant amount of time, that means an effect on many people's usual routines. We used to go out there, we used to meet our friends, loved ones, had some physical exercise routines, social events, and basically these are all disrupted. That's a huge shift in our daily lives. And that, of course, brought many, many results, such as loneliness, such as depression, and so forth. So guys, I wanted to basically wrap up and summarize some most important things in this slide. So these are happening across the globe, but of course, there are many additional mental challenges which some of us are also experiencing. So this is the status right now because of the corona's impact of our mental health globally. So what Meditopia done, how we react was also an important thing in our journey. So first of all, of course, team, the most important stakeholder, our own team. So we basically started our measures as our own quarantine, working from home routine, and make sure of the health and safety of our own team, the most important stakeholder of ours. And of course, and then we immediately provided free access to the frontline workers, health workers across the globe, to Meditopia, to be able to support them with our own needs. That was the second thing which we basically take hold. And after that, we immediately released stay-at-home collections, which focused on some certain and specific topics, such as I provided some examples here, such as coping with uncertainty, creating routines at home, and also some specific experiences such as parenting while working from home. By the way, I'm not a parent, but I can say that parenting while working from home, like Superman and Superwoman, it's very tough. Even I don't have kids. I had some tough times to create my own routines and everything. I have to graduate. If we have some parents between us right now, it is amazing what they are doing. And that's why it's one of our responsibilities as Meditopia to support them in their efforts as parenting. And in addition to that, we had live meditations through our social channels such as Instagram, so that our community basically also got connected in our social channels, exchanged some notes through also our local therapists, specialists through the live meditations. And then we will also release new kind of special collections and also live channels if we basically enter into a second wave and new possible quarantines, especially in some countries. And after that, Meditopia has a new feature in our product called challenges. Every month we release a brand new challenge. You have a to-do that specific day. Starts with 20 days, going up to 30 days. So working from home and creating better routines, having a better mental well-being while working from home will be also one of the new challenges in Meditopia in upcoming months. So COVID-19's impacts on mental health across the globe. So as you can see, I deliberately took this data from Statista. It has a significance from a couple of angles, which I want to underline one of them. And it says, as you can see, that a significant portion of adults in the listed countries experiencing a difficulty to coping with those challenges. It's not a portion of people who are experiencing those challenges, those problems, but basically the portion of people who has a difficulty to cope with stress, with anxiety and sadness. So this means we have to act, and we have to act fast and stand aside with people who have a difficulty to cope with those challenges. It's very important. And as you can see that, by the way, there's only almost 10 countries there. It's a wide topic, and it's almost the same also in other nations. So we have to act as entrepreneurs and be very fast so that we can stand by side with the people across the globe. So by the way, Janine, again, I will also elaborate more when we do the Q&A session about the collections. And guys, feel free also to ask any additional questions. And if you have some notes, also feel free to send out them. Basically, we can elaborate together in our Q&A session. So this is an important fact, once again, from Statista. A very important portion of us, our loved ones, basically has a difficulty to cope with mental well-being challenges across the globe. And rolled referring from that data, coming from there, okay, coming from what we do as Meditopia, coming from what we have done, how we reacted to Corona, to COVID-19, to help our community and our own team, and coming from the statistics across the globe, the impact, which reflects the impact of COVID-19 to all our own lives. What will happen tomorrow from my point of view, and where is the opportunity for entrepreneurs basically to answer the needs of people? So I want to underline the fact that there was already a crisis, a mental well-being, a mental health crisis before COVID-19. Billions of people, as I mentioned before, basically were suffered from many challenges. There was already something going on. But of course, people also had an opportunity. There are many tools and ways to overcome those challenges. And there was already a crisis. But now that crisis is growing because of COVID-19. And that means we all have to create and we all have to welcome new solutions in our daily lives. And of course, that brings new opportunities for entrepreneurs like us. So there are three things which I want to underline. First of all, the mental well-being and mental health market growth rate had been accelerated because of Corona. The market is arriving to the point now where it should arrive maybe normal circumstances in 3, 4, or 5 years. So that's why the growth rate of the market had been accelerated, because numbers are growing. The numbers of the usages of mental health and mental well-being related products and services. And as you also saw from the statistics, a significant portion of people are having some difficulty to coping with some mental well-being issues. So that's one thing. And aftermath, the new world after COVID-19 is creating new verticals. For example, working from home while parenting. So this is, of course, not a new thing for some of us, but for a majority of people, that's a new thing. And that means there's a new vertical there. Parents, people who are trying to do parenting, superwoman and superman across the globe, basically can welcome new solutions and new services in their lives. And that's very, very important. And aftermath, the third thing which I want to underline is the fact that because there are new verticals coming and created by by new life circumstances, we have to and we will welcome new developers and new content generators, basically, who can answer the needs of those new verticals. That's very important. And that's why basically from the both supply and demand end of the market, there will be a growth, there will be a shift, an enlargement. And that is why from our point of view, myself also, we think that the number of developers and the number of content generators on mental health, on mental well-being will rise significantly to be able to answer this demand. So the supply and demand, both ends will enlarge in a very short amount of time from our point of view. But at the same time, I also want to underline the fact that the market is hugely competitive. So Meditopia is now experiencing a lot of competition. We have competitors. We are a competitor for others. And the market is not an easy market. So there are many entry barriers, I can say that. And more important than that, it's a huge challenge to scale what you provide. And that is why it is important also to be open to collaborate. What I want to underline as my final remark also is basically we all have to be open to collaborate. If we join forces, if you think that you have a valuable and a very specific solid solution as a developer, content generator, or a service provider, I highly recommend you to be able to reach out to us or others across the globe, significant players, to collaborate and gain time and maximize what you offer. And that is why basically also I want to give my email to you guys. Feel free to reach out to me. My email is fatih@meditopia.com. You can see here. We would be more than happy to hear your thoughts and basically exchange notes whether we can collaborate for use cases across the globe. So this is all from my presentation. Now I want to, we have a couple of minutes left. I want to, open the session part and answer your questions. So Eric, thank you very much for your question. So Eric said that, do you think about integrating online psychology service? So could be something, because we believe in two things. So one, we need to leverage big data. We need to leverage artificial intelligence and use it very well. But at the same time, when you talk about mental health, when you talk about emotions, when you talk about your psychology, you need to have a human touch there. It's very important. So that's why we deeply believe human touch aspects when we talk about mental well-being. So Eric, as an answer to your question, could be in the future. And Hannah, thank you for your question also. Thanks for your nice compliment, by the way. She said that Meditopia is a Fantastic company. Thank you. Do you have plans to add Arabic to your list of languages? Yes, it's coming end of this month. Hopefully latest beginning of October, we are releasing our Arabic version. So stay tuned. It's coming there. So Katarina, thanks for your question. So Katarina is asking that, how did you collaborate with local therapists? Did you start in one specific region first? Yes. Basically, we started in Turkey. Our company born in Istanbul, Turkey. We began here. We tested our localization hypothesis. So from hypothesis, it became a thesis. And then we scaled from Turkey to Latin America first. So that was our roadmap. And basically, scouting, finding the right local therapists is one of the key aspects of what we do. So basically, we go out there and put our maximum effort to find our local therapists. Thank you very much again for your question. And Janine, you basically wanted to ask what I mean by collections. So by collections, I mean different type of contents, such as mindfulness sessions, mindfulness meditations, such as we have talks. There are some informative talks, but very also engaging and joyful talks in our product. You can listen. We have some articles. We have some sleep stories. They are all called collections from our jargon. So that was what I meant in my speech. So thank you very much for your also question. And I'm wrapping it up basically to not make Upstart team upset. So Patricia, thanks for the notes. Also, thanks for joining this call. And Özge, thanks for your also question. So Özge is saying that one of the challenges with mental well-being tools is users not using them constantly and or creating habits to see the long-term benefits. You are right, Özge. What are some strategies Meditopia is applying to ensure long-term user adoption and extend the user life cycle? It's an amazing question, Özge. The core reason why localization is backbone what we do is this. Because again, mental health and mental well-being is not one size fits all thing. I live in Istanbul. Maybe Eric is living somewhere in Nordics. I don't know, maybe in Asia or maybe North America. We all live in different geographies. We all have different dynamics in our lives. If I have a challenge in my sleep, okay, maybe my root cause is a stress related to what's going on in my life in that region. And it's different across the globe. So we have to resonate it and we have to be relevant all the time. When there's a specific topic in certain region, you have to update your content library with what you provide by reflecting that new development into your product. So that is one of the key aspects, how we basically invest into LTV and expanding our user life cycle. So very important question, Özge, and also feel free to reach out. I feel that we are maybe from the same region. More than happy to meet you. Eric, happy to hear that you're from Stockholm. And I'm gonna wrap up with answering Eric's last question. So he says that what contents works the best, sleep, meditation, relax, sounds, etc. Every type of content actually works best. The most important thing is basically being very specific on what you do and your growth tactic, how you channel the value of that content to people across the globe. That's very important. How you are to the point while you are communicating your message and while you are converting people into your product. That's one thing I can say. And thank you very much for your time joining the session. Thanks to Upstart team, Grace, Sayed, for inviting me. Feel free to reach out and have a great Friday ahead. Ciao. Bye-bye.